Hi, this is Keely from Retirement Dreams to Reality, and today I'm going to talk about a question that I get asked quite a lot when I talk about retiring early. A couple of questions actually, but the main overarching one is, are you going to be happy when you retire? And it might be something that you've thought about. Will you be happy when you retire? If you've thought about it, you're definitely not in isolation. A company called NAPF, the National Association for Pension Funds, which were the main overarching body responsible for workplace pensions up until about 2015 when they were renamed. They thought about that, so they decided to do a survey, and they asked over 1,000 members of their workplace, so over 1,200 plus employees, about 3 simple questions, all related to happiness in retirement. And I thought it was quite a nice little survey, and I just thought it was something nice to go over in terms of how do people feel about happiness in retirement. What will make them happy in retirement? What will they do to make them happy in retirement? And is there anything that they're really worried about missing from work? Was one of the other questions that the NAP survey looked at. So that's what we're going to have a look at today. How lovely is that? Happy to chat bench. So, yeah, the very first question they asked people, these 1,000 people, was, what do you think will make you happy in retirement? So these people hadn't retired yet. I think they said, the survey said some of them were only in their 40s and 50s. And I'll put a link to the survey below because it's only 3-4 pages, but it's really interesting reading. So what do you think would make you happy in retirement? And that started me thinking, what will make me happy in retirement? And do my answers align with theirs? So the overarching answer, the answer that 51% of their survey answered, was being financially secure. So obviously, as we talk about, that's why so much of retirement planning focuses around retirement, because if you don't get your financial planning right, you're not going to be happy. So after being financially secure, the next answer that got virtually as many answers as being financially secure was being in good health. So how interesting is that? That basically, I want to be financially secure and I want to be healthy. They were the 2 main ones. And things that people really weren't that bothered about but featured sort of way down the bottom were learning new skills and having interesting activities to do. So they were the things that people thought would make them happy in retirement, which is interesting because a lot of the retirement videos that you look at, once they've finished with retirement planning, they're all about travel, aren't they? Everybody's travelling places. All of the YouTube people that have thousands of subscribers in retirement are the people that are travelling around. Whereas in terms of what will make you happy, that featured sort of 50%. So it did feature, but nothing like being financially secure and being healthy. But then again, I suppose you've got to be financially secure and healthy to travel. So I suppose it just makes more sense. So the next question that they asked is, how will you spend your free time in retirement? And interestingly enough, the top one for that was having quality time at home. And then there was also travelling the world. So the very top one, having quality time at home, and really closely followed by travelling the world. So that is definitely not that different to ours, to what we want to do. We 100% want to travel, but as I mentioned in a previous video, we love the chilling at home. I mean, once again, a day like today, you cannot beat it. You can't beat this lovely, bright, beautiful sunshine. It's getting to the stage where you can sit in your garden, just chill, listen to the birds, do your plants, although gardening didn't feature very highly, interestingly enough. But yeah, those two of travelling and being at home are not a huge surprise, are they? And I'm sure if you did, I mean, this was 2010, this survey, but I'm sure if you did a survey now, you wouldn't get that different views, would you? Because that just seems to be what people want to do. Just to pause here, now I'm on my second question. I am currently at somewhere called Collier's Wood. And you see the beautiful pond. I'm not sure it's big enough to be a lake behind me. And once again, it's less than 10 minutes drive from my home. And once again, it's a ex-mining area. So they've reclaimed more green colliery grounds and turned it into a woods and park. It's absolutely beautiful. How gorgeous is that? Please remember, if you're enjoying this video, or even if you're not, please help by liking and subscribing. Like and subscribe. Just to finish that final question, not only did not taking up new skills feature very highly about how you'll spend your time, but not that many people said that they'd spend loads of time with grandchildren, which I thought was quite an interesting one, because it's easy to believe that all grandparents seem to look after their grandchildren. There's news articles about this resource, this unpaid resource that working mums have to tap into, and all grandparents look after their grandchildren. But in 2010, that did not feature very highly at all. So how do you fit into those first two questions? What would your answers have been? Would they have been similar? What do you think will make you happy in retirement, and how will you spend your time in retirement? And the final question that NAPFA asked its 1,000 employees was, what will you miss about work? And I think when you're looking at happiness in retirement, that is something that a lot of people worry about. How can you be happy if you're going to miss something so badly? And I think they really do worry about that. And the two main answers for what people said they would miss in retirement were colleagues. I will miss socialising and connecting with colleagues. That was the main answer. And then the other main answer was having that secure income every month, which does make sense, because I think that's a huge worry for so many people. In terms of the socialising with colleagues, I can't say socialising this morning. In terms of socialising with colleagues, I'm a lone worker. I am a tutor who tutors students at home. So apart from one really nice tutor that I quite often arrange to meet at IKEA, I don't have colleagues. So that's not something that I'm going to miss at all. I've obviously had to readjust to that. But it probably was something that I did miss when I first left mainstream teaching. I often say that I missed that staff room banter, that, what did everybody watch on TV last night? Just the rubbish, the absolute rubbish that you all talk about in your breaks. And I did miss that when I first left mainstream teaching, but that's not applicable to me anymore. So how do you fit into those two? Do you worry about not connecting with colleagues when you retire? Do you worry about the wage? And in line with everything else, things that people didn't particularly worry about was keeping up with technologies and time away from their wife or husband. They didn't worry that they weren't going to get any time away. Well, I suppose you make your own time away, don't you? Funnily enough, 15% of the cohort said they weren't worried about missing anything from work. Nothing. Their answer was nothing. I'm not going to miss anything from work. So I think that's quite interesting. Right. So, are you worried about being happy in retirement? I'm really not. I know I'll be financially secure enough because we've done our paperwork. I know I won't miss colleagues. I know I'll be able to do the bits of travel and things that I want to do. All of the things that other people said would make them happy in retirement are the things that are going to make me happy in retirement. And I'm not worried about the things that anybody was worried about, really. So that's Keely from Retirement Dreams to Reality. Thank you for taking this wonderful walk with me around Collier's Wood.